Hello, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Just like how a power-packed workout in the morning sets the right mood for the day, let us start the meeting with greeting each other. So, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Whitefield Toastmaster Club, and I am Toastmaster Nidhi, the Sergeant at Arms, for this meeting. So as we start, let me reiterate the mission of Toastmasters. So here we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. So as here we are trying to create a community which is inclusive of everyone and everyone can feel at home, there are certain rules that are in place for the meeting. So the first one is that people should refrain from using the taboo topics like sex, religion and politics during the meeting. The second one is I request all of you to please turn off your mobile phones or at least put them on silent mode so that the speakers are not disturbed during the meeting. In case you want to move out of the room, please do that during the applause or when the speakers have done delivering the speeches. For everyone's convenience, the restrooms are on the ground floor towards the left and drinking water is available in the corridor. Another thing that this meeting is recorded and will be uploaded on YouTube. So if anyone do not wish to get recorded, please get in touch with Toastmaster Kevin to stop recording when you are on the stage. So now I would like to call upon the presiding officer of our meeting, who's also the VP membership of our club, Toastmaster Raj.
How do we start? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Wow, good to see so many people here today. After a wonderful milestone meeting which we had last week, most of you were there. People who were not there, you really missed the fun. So, my name is Raj and I am going to play the role of presiding officer today. Now, I would like to welcome all the members and the guests for today's meeting. And now I would officially like to start meeting number 26. Productivity. Before I start talking on productivity, I am also doing a productive activity here, big shoes to fill. There have been heavy stalwarts who have come here as the presiding officer, one sitting on my extreme right on the first row. So I hope I get things right. Productivity, office, home, friends, how productive are you? That's a very important thing. I'll share a productivity, instance of my personal experience. My wife, my better half, as per her, I'm not productive at home. I don't take care of the domestic responsibilities more often because I'm so occupied, with my professional, responsibilities and all. So you always have to balance that. If you're productive, you get the limelight, you move up the ladder. If you're not productive, you get demotivated, dejected, defeated within yourself. So I know most of you guys are very productive, but people on the other side of the desk, they think otherwise. So let's keep doing the good work, what we are doing here, and let's be productive and move ahead in life. With this, I would like to call on someone who is going to play the role of the Toastmaster of the day. All right, someone who has recently joined the club, who has completed his MBA in finance. He loves traveling, and the goal for him to join Toastmasters Club is to become a TED speaker in the near future. He has all the skills and capabilities you would see when he comes on the stage. So without further ado, I would like to call on Aiden on the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So the theme is productivity. Productivity, my immortal adversary, whom I'm trying to befriend now, by the way. On my quest to being my most productive self, I try to challenge myself by doing so many things, and that too all at once. I would juggle 3 massive items and several small items. Now this was mistake number 1. At the same time, I would effectively use LinkedIn, just like my professors used to tell me. There, I found high quality information on numerous topics. Some I would comprehend and several I would not. I would save those for later to later revisit and learn them, but I never did do that. The problem was this was kept aside as incomplete information. Now, the issue here is our brains have this desire to resolve cognitive tension. Whenever you add an item on your to-do list, you're opening a loop which your brain wants to close. It wants that item done. However, I did not know this then. Mistake number 1 and 2 accumulated over time and developed into a condition called information overload. Now, that's a state of being overwhelmed by the amount of information that's presented for one's attention or processing. Further, I got to realize that I was addicted. Addicted to not alcohol, addicted to not cigarettes, addicted to not even gambling, but addicted to a more socially acceptable compulsion, productivity. Productivity guilt used to hit me occasionally whenever things wouldn't go my way. Now, because I'm an addict, and to prevent my addiction from spiraling, I began to read, explore, and investigate. This brought me to a few harsh truths. Truths which have not cured me, but have made me stable and bettered me. But before getting into that, I would like to take you through the agenda of today's meeting. Toastmasters meeting is generally divided into 3 sessions. The first session is prepared speeches. The second one is table topic session. And the last is evaluation, which is a feedback session. Now, let me invite the general evaluator for today's meeting. Coming up next is a Toastmaster, young in age but seasoned in experience. She is a final year student pursuing arts at Mount Carmel College, where she serves as the president of MCC Toastmasters Club. Ladies and gentlemen, the general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Malia.
Is this necessary? Okay. Audible? No. Over there. Oh, okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. I was supposed to talk something about the theme when the associate VP had called me, but I told him I would be not a good person to talk about productivity because that is absolutely non-existent in my life. And I think this meeting is probably one of the most productive things I will do this week, besides lazing around. Yes, so the general evaluator is the person who evaluates the meeting from before it started to its conclusion. And to help the general evaluator, we have the tag team and 4 individual evaluators. I will quickly move on to introducing the tag team to you. For
Playing the role of the timer, we have someone who is a software product manager, an aspiring leader, and who loves singing. Toastmaster Revati, the timer for today.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Revati. Today, I will be playing the role of timer. Time management is very important in life, and I'll be helping prepared speakers and icebreaker speakers to facilitate completing their speech on time. For this, for prepared speakers, I'll be showing green card. Target time is, can anyone help me? I forgot. 4 to 6. Yeah, 4 minutes I'll be showing green card, and 5 yellow, that is the qualifying time, and I'll be showing red at the 6th minute, and another 30 minutes for closing the speech. And for icebreakers, it is 5 to 7. 5 I will be showing green, and 6 I'll be showing yellow. So, yeah, and 7 I'll be showing red card. And 30 seconds you have to close the speech. So that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a slight correction, for icebreakers it's 4 to 6 minutes, and for normal speeches it's 5 to 7 minutes. That's it. Thank you, Toastmaster Revati. Next up we have the second member, the R Counter, who describes himself as a self-motivated person who likes learning from his past experiences in order to create new opportunities. Our R Counter, Toastmaster Krishna.
Good morning, Toastmaster and dear friends. How everyone are doing? Awesome. So I will be AHA counter. I will be playing AHA counter role today. I will note down the number of touch words, overused words, and filler sounds each of you are using in your speech. And then after the meeting, I will share the reports. Sometimes we use these crutch words to take time and response, but on other way around, it disturbs your overall speech, and maybe listener also lose the interest while they are listening to you. So I would request whosoever is speaker coming on the stage, please either don't use these filler words or try to minimize these filler use to make your communication more effective, your dialogue more effective, so that audience may not lose their interest and listening you during overall of your speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krishna. And the final member of the tag team is the Grammarian, who is a business analyst who loves exploring new places and cuisines. Our Grammarian, Toastmaster Ujjwal.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, my fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guest. So, as a grammarian, my responsibility today is to listen to all of your speeches and all the speakers, and then also to note down the improper use of language, also the proper use of the language. Also, as my responsibility today, it is to give a word of the day, which for today is ingenuity, which basically means someone's ability to think of clever new ways of doing things. So that is you have to find a new way of doing a thing that has a predefined way of doing things. So that is what ingenuity means. So I will request all of you guys, whenever someone uses the word on the stage, please show a thumbs up as a mark of appreciation. And I will give my report at the end when called by the General Level. Thank you.
you, Toastmaster Ujjwal and the other members of the tag team. Besides the tag team, we'll also have individual evaluators who will be introduced later. We will be back towards the third session of the meeting to present our report. Thank you, and back to Toastmaster Aiden.
Let's move on to the first session of today's meeting. We have 4 Toastmasters today, ready and fired up to show us the fruits of their productivity through their hard-written speeches. Let us see, encourage them, but also learn from them. Now, without further ado, I'd like to call the evaluator for today's first speech. He's working as a software developer. He likes spending time with his family and leading a spiritual life. Let's give a warm welcome, everyone, to Toastmaster Prasin.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My target speaker would be attempting his L1 P1 speech, which is also an icebreaker speech. And the objectives of his speech is to introduce himself to the club and to also learn the basic structures of public speaking. Thank you.
Okay. So, our first 2 speeches of today's are icebreakers. Audience, please note, on completion of an icebreaker, we request you to give a standing ovation. Our speaker is an engineer by background, working as an analytics manager with a US-based retail organization. He loves playing Sudoku and cricket. Everyone, please welcome Toastmaster Abhinit Sinha. Toastmaster Abhinit Sinha, it's adaptation. It's adaptation, Abhinit Sinha.
Year 1994, a boy visiting to his hometown and trying to make friends, but he is not able to find anyone. What happens next? He is meeting with a guy, his name was Munna, and Munna reached out to him and tried to make friends. But that guy was very, I would say, he was not that much friendly. He said, no, I'll not make friends. First, let me judge him. What happened next? After few tries, Munna became a good friend and he invited, hey man, there is a wedding going next to our house. Can we go there? He said, yes, let's go. And this guy went there, standing just next to the tree and staring people. There were some kids, they were around the sweets and they were looking for some laddus. But the kid was staring from outside. He was looking straightly. Munna said, can we go there? I said, no, I cannot go. I cannot mix with that crowd. Munna said, please wait and watch. I'll go and get something for you. What happened next? There was a guy, his name was Awadh Narayan Singh, and he was the owner of that house. He came to that guy and said, hey man, I have seen you, Mr. Sinha's family. You are Mr. Sinha's son? I said, yes. And he said, why don't you enjoy the sweets? I said, why I'll enjoy the sweets? Because I'm not that kind of guy. I cannot go and mix with people. What happened next? After 2 days, this guy came, this owner came to his village, his house, and said, man, he talked with my parents and said that, you know, I tried giving him the sweets, but this guy did not take. What sort of educations you have given to your kid?
I was surprised. I was thinking this guy will come and complain about me, that I bluntly replied. The reason of the blunt reply was I was pretty much extrovert that time. I did not have any filter. I did not have any slicer that, okay, I'll think about the repercussions, like what will happen or something like that, because I was completely extrovert. The second story of my life started when I went to my college. I met with a guy, his name was Ravi, and Ravi ragged me and he gave me a challenge that you have to dance together and you have to say, I will speak your introduction as well. So that was a very tough situation for me. And what happened, I started hallucinating at that particular time. I thought the fear is just sitting next to me and telling, like, don't reply to the Ravi. If I'll reply to the Ravi, maybe that will be a different scenario. Because when you grow older, you rationally also grow. You think about the repercussion. You think about what will happen next. And similar thing happened to me. From extrovert, I became introvert person. And it continued till my placement. When I used to see my seniors, I used to keep quiet and never used to reply them, because I know like what will happen after, when I'll reply them, what will happen. And that's something challenged me a lot. Finally, I got placed. I saw the people are there. Again, the new paradigm shifted, because I was introvert guy and I was extrovert and introvert, and now I came into a different phase of my life. And next phase of my life started. I saw people were really calm and composed during the reply. I prepared, my leader asked me, prepare a 10-page of PPT. I created 10 pages of PPT. He said, I really like the way you created that. I like the fancy pictures and photographs and the pie charts, but I don't know what you wanted to communicate. And that's the place I learned a newer skills called ambivert, where I just made a sandwich of extrovert and introvert. I became ambivert. I saw one movie called Vikram Vedha. You might have seen that, Hindi and as well as in Tamil version. While Vedha was Vikram was chasing to Vedha, and Vedha surrendered himself in police station, and talk started. Some of the crew members came, police officers. Vedha did not reply even a single out of word. What happened next? Finally, Vikram came and said, wow. And that's Vedha replied, yes. He knew it. What to reply, where to reply, that is what he said. He said that, sir, I know whom I need to talk, where to talk, and what to talk. And that sort of a skills I learned ambivert. And that's something I saw in that movie as well. And see, gentlemen, dear Toastmaster and guest, my name is Abhinit. This is the story of mine. And I wanted to tell because how I converted, how I adopted this introvert skills. And now from introvert to extrovert to introvert, and then introvert to ambivert. And this is this is all about adoption. So it's adoption, nothing else. That's all about you. Back to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhinit, for sharing with us your wonderful experience. Now, I'd like to call upon the evaluator for today's second speech. He's an endurance runner and a trekker. He shares with us, by the way, these are the words of an athlete. Punctuality and discipline are the two key factors that will make you highly productive. Let's welcome everyone, Toastmaster Satyendra.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good morning.
My target speaker is attempting his icebreaker, P1L1. The objective of this meeting, of this speech, is to introduce himself to the club and to learn the basic structure of the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Our second speaker for today is from Telangana and works as a physics teacher here in Bangalore. He has completed his bachelor's from IIT Dhanbad. Let's welcome to the stage everyone, Toastmaster Vamshi. Toastmaster Vamshi, finding my passion, Toastmaster Vamshi. All the very best.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Vamshi Krishna and I will be your physics teacher. I'm sorry. This is Toastmasters meeting. Let me start over again. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I'm going to share with you an amazing story of an awesome person. His name is Vamshi Krishna. Vamshi means the flute of Lord Krishna. Once upon a time, in a land not too far away, Vamshi's father packed his bags and moved to city. Little did he know that the hero of our story will be born in that city, Nizamabad. Vamshi's parents' only goal was to give their kids a top-notch education. So they sent him and his little sister to a reputed school in the city. Now let's dive into Vamshi's school days. He was a silent kid, you know. He was like a teacher's pet. Imagine this. If the teacher said, Vamshi, go back and jump out of the window, he would just say, yes ma'am, and he would have jumped. That obedient. He was always into reading books and impressing teachers with his obedience. And what about extracurricular activities, you ask? No, not his cup of tea. He was always into books and stuff. Fast forward into his 10th class, Vamshi had to make a life-changing decision. He had to choose between biology or mathematics. And our brave soldier, Vamshi, he chose mathematics. And that was one of the best decisions he made in his life. He he studied his heart out in class 11 and 12, fueled by grand illusion that getting into IIT will somehow magically solve all the life's problems. The poor boy was brainwashed. His parents, friends, teachers, everyone was singing the same song. So he studied hard, the people convinced him that getting into IIT was somehow like a golden ticket. So he studied hard, surviving on 3 measly hours of sleep. But alas, he could not crack the exam in the first attempt. But Vamshi's determination knew no bounds. He was confident that if he writes the exam next year, he would be able to crack it. And guess what? He was able to crack it this time. But now, he did not have a clue what to do next. Life has thrown him a curveball, and he ended up scratching his head in confusion. Taking a leap of faith, Vamshi made some choices which landed him in petroleum engineering in the university. Believe me, these 4 years in the university were no walk in the park. He did not like studying petroleum engineering at all. Amidst all this chaos, he found something extraordinary, a love affair like no other. And it was not a person. It was a professor with a white French beard and shiny bald head. And you heard it right. He is Professor Leonard Susskind. He is a famous physicist. And his captivating lecture videos on physics held Vamshi hooked, even though they were not the part of the curriculum. His friends used to think he lost his mind. But hey, love makes you do crazy things, isn't it? So fast forward the 4 years, somehow we managed to pass the exams, get the degree. Now he is standing at the crossroads, not knowing what to do, what the heck to do with his life, and what to do with the degree petroleum engineering. So he took 1 year break, well-deserved break, and what did he do during that year? He lent his physics expertise to a friend who was preparing to become a teacher. But little did he know that this experience would unlock his true calling. So he mustered up all his courage and applied to become a physics teacher, even though he did not have a formal physics degree. But guess what? He was able to ace it in the very first attempt. Who would have thought? And it's been 10 years and Vamshi is still rocking the physics teaching world. Can you believe it? From a petroleum engineering graduate to becoming a physics teacher. Vamshi's journey reminds us that life's twists and turns will take us to unexpected places. So let's raise our glass and give a thunderous applause to Vamshi. Over to you.
Little did we know that we would enjoy the tale of Vamshi Krishna. Round of applause, everyone. Moving on to today's third speech, I'd now like to call the evaluator for today's third speech. He's from Uttar Pradesh. He's working as an aerospace engineer. He loves playing badminton, volleyball, swimming, and there's more things, but I couldn't write that all down. Let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Akshay Srivastava.
Good morning to distinguished guests and my fellow Toastmasters. TMOD Edan mentioned something like productivity guilt in the beginning. I have a ingenuine way of dealing with productivity guilt. We all have something I call as focus quota for every day. We don't have limitless focus in our account. Just for example, we have 100 grams of quota. Just assume it. 100 grams of quota in our account and we have to use it very wisely. It's like that. So there is so much on the table and everything feels like it is important to us in some or the other manner. But you have to choose some of those things which are in your favor to the extreme. So today's theme is productivity, and that's why I came up with this thing which I personally believe. So you have to think in this manner that you have certain focus quota in your account on the daily basis and you have to work in that manner only. So this is about the theme. Talking about my role for the day, I am the evaluator for Toastmasters Atul's speech. He'll be attempting L1 P4, which is receiving the feedback for this particular speech and implementing that feedback in the next speech. So all the best to you, Toastmaster Atul. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. So our third speaker for today is quite an enthusiastic one. This is just my fourth meeting as a member, and I see him every week here giving a speech. He is a man in form. Let's welcome everyone, Toastmaster Atul. Toastmaster Atul, beauty of slangs. Beauty of slangs, Toastmaster Atul.
How many languages have you heard in Bangalore? Kannada, English, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, a mix of them?
Yes.
But there is another language in this mix that is called the slangs. They are composed of small phrases, but they convey something that even long paragraphs cannot. Talk of productivity. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guest and fellow Toastmaster, today let me invite you all to embark on a linguistic journey through this world of slangs. The slangs, they have quite got a bad name because they are often associated with bad words, so as to say, but they are not often with bad words. There are slangs without bad words that convey a different, they carry the vibrant atmosphere with them. Let me come to that in a matter of time. When we, from the streets of Bangalore to the bustling bazaars of Delhi, these slangs, they carry the essence of the people here and the attitude and the vibrant energy that they carry with them. Let us all have a dive into this amusing world of slangs, but with a due course of time, and with it, how does it bring out a wit and charm from different languages? Slangs are not associated with a particular language only. They have come out from different languages. Now let me give you some examples. And raise your hands if you have heard them before. So have you heard the song, Calm Down, Baby Calm Down? Whenever I get into a heated argument with my sister, she starts singing this song, Baby Calm Down, Calm Down. So this has reference to our first slang of the word, that is chillax. So this is a delightful blend of chill and relax. So what does this mean? This means, this actually shows the laid out attitude of Indians. We know whenever we this shows that whenever some problems happen to us, let it go. Just be in the time. Let it go with the flow. We cannot have a control over everything. In our college, we exchange this word with peace. We used to say peace hai. Whenever something used to happen, we say peace hai. Next, we have the word funda. This originates from the English word fundamental. In the colleges, basically, most of the students use this to explain the core theories that they have studied. And in my college, mostly I used to learn it from seniors. They used to pass on the fundas to pass through different kind of situations in the college. Unfortunately, whenever I have implemented those fundas in my life, they have always put me into trouble. Third one is my favorite. This is bakra. So this comes from the colloquial Urdu, bakra, or so as to say bali ka bakra. So this means, bakra means the person who is identified as the foolish or the unsuspecting member of the gang. So picture a gang which is a mischievous lot and is trying to pull a prank on one of its unsuspecting member, a full prank, and that person becomes the bakra of the gang. Fourth one, I would say, is jugaad. Now jugaad, it's like foreigners, they have this sentence called where there is a will, there is a way. Indians have this attitude where they say where there is a will, there is a jugaad. Jugaad encompasses the ingenuity of finding innovative ways and creative means to find solutions to the problems which may not be a perfect textbook solution, but at the same time they are utilizing the available resources at that present moment and solving the problem using some creative means. Next one I would say is chalta hai. So the chalta hai means it's okay, or let it go, or let it be. This again shows the easygoing nature of Indians. They don't care much about the problems because they already are facing a lot of problems in their life. Like I heard a joke where an American was traveling in Indian train, and he was asking one saint who is bald. So he's asking, how does this like fan? This is getting very heated here. So he just picks a comb and somehow rotates the fan. So this is like, because we are already suffering with a lot of problems, we kind of have this ingrained attitude in us. Can you all give me any other reference of slang that we use in our daily lives in Bangalore? Yes? Chung. Sure. Now, if we look a little bit deeply, we will see that slangs also offers a glimpse into the cultural winding of the people here at the same time. And as Toastmasters, we definitely appreciate the strength of the power that is available in the communication, in the effective communication and public speaking. And slangs offer that. They help break the ice. They help to break the ice, and at the same time bring a sense of joy and humor into the talk, and which helps us forge connection with other people. So let us try to indulge these slangs in our daily conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Atul, for sharing with us the beauty of slangs. Now, Toastmasters and guests, we reach the final speech of today. Now, I'd like to invite the evaluator for today's speech. He's working as a project consultant at EY and has been part of the Toastmasters family for almost 3 years now. He is currently serving as the Vice President of Public Relations of Whitefield Toastmasters Club. Please welcome everyone, Toastmaster Kevin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aiden. And good morning, everyone. Good morning. Right. I love the energy today. And before I tell the name of the person who is going to give the speech today, I would like to just give a tip on productivity. So I would like to say productivity is something that we need to be a little ingenuine about, because it depends. Like if you want to be always productive or if you want to be less productive. Because sometimes I feel being less productive is also important at times. So to move from that phase of being less productive, I have found out a very simple method and it works for me. I don't know if it works for you guys. You can definitely try it. If you're watching a reel and you're in an infinite loop, right? You keep on watching the reel. Just count till 10 and wake up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 10. And just wake up from the seat and move to the next task. That's one thing I have found out. And with this, I would like to call upon the speaker, the fourth speaker and the final speaker of today, which is Toastmaster Sijo. So Toastmaster Sijo, I've been knowing Toastmaster Sijo for quite some time now. He's a Toastmaster for the past 3 years and we have been in the same club. He's a software engineer at TCS. And yeah, Toastmaster Sijo, over to you. All the best. And Toastmaster Sijo is attempting the level 2 project 3. Being a prodigy, Toastmaster Sijo. Toastmaster Sijo, being a prodigy. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Kevin almost stole my role, but I'll take it back. Our final speaker for today hails from Kerala. He's working as a software engineer and he's absolutely ready. But are all of you? So let's welcome everyone, Toastmaster Sijo. Toastmaster Sijo, being a prodigy. Being a prodigy, Toastmaster Sijo. Very nice.
"14 years back, we were all getting ready for our last semester exams. That's the year when the IT industry was in its boom, the golden era of IT. The most of us in our college were placed in one of the IT companies, and we were all overconfident, and that blurred the reality. All these IT jobs had a disclaimer: you should not have any back papers the time when you join. And my grades in my college was falling like the Sensex points in a stock market crash during recession. Me and my friends got together and we had to have a master plan how to approach the exams. And we knew one thing: if we are to read the entire modules, we are not going to clear the exams. And my friend Praveen, as always, showed his ingenuity. He came up with an idea: why don't we go to Unni? And who is Unni? Unni is that person who we see in movies. He is exceptional in all areas. Also, he has a big heart to help others. We switched from our house and we decided to stay at Unni's house at least till the exams are over. And when we reached there, the scene is there were a lot of small groups like this who were expecting help from Unni. He has this tremendous capability. He reads through some passage, big concepts, tough concepts, and he can just decode it in a minute. For the next few days, we were listening to him like an audio book. We didn't read through the entire modules. And today, I owe it to Unni for keeping my placement intact. Let me take you back to my school days. I had many teachers who taught me many subjects. But there is one teacher, my English teacher, Madhu, whom I still remember. He planted the habit of reading in me. I was a kid who always used to hear the comment, "I never seen you reading a book other than your textbooks. Either you'll be playing cricket for the all day or you'll be watching the same in a TV." This was the person who me and my brother also was till that age. But this person, my English teacher, had made a difference. His classes invoked the curiosity in me to read more. Still, I don't claim myself as a voracious reader, but I love going to libraries. I started visiting libraries and I found that as a favorite hangout place for me now. Now let me fast forward. I have landed at my first job. We always think when we are taking up our first job, somebody will be there to guide you to how to do the work at your hand. But after our training, literally nobody was there to guide. We were just on our own. I still remember the initial days where I had to struggle through coding, which was very new to me because I was from a biology background. Fortunately, I had this senior. She helped me with my baby steps in the coding. And me, who got not so good feedback from a manager as a programmer, was able to grow to somebody who got an appreciation for the hard work in a quarter. Meanwhile, again the recession came. We had to switch our jobs. I hope you know the reason. When we landed in our next job, we were asked to train or mentor others. And little did I know about the word mentoring till that time. Deep inside my heart, I didn't want to mentor somebody because I was not convinced with myself. I was not good at what I'm doing. I tried to avoid it, but you know the pressure of annual performance goals in our corporate organizations. We had to take up that. But in that process, I started learning more on the skill sets of my mentees. I started upskilling myself. There was an interesting transformation happened in me. I started improving myself in that process. And I'm sure if I wouldn't have taken up that opportunity, I wouldn't have grown in my skills. As a famous quote says, if you cannot see where you're going, you are somebody who has already been there. And now when I reflect back, even though the word mentoring, I came to know about it at a later stage of my life, when I look back at my school, at my college, the teacher who planted me the idea of reading, or my friend who helped me with my studies, they were all my mentors. As Oprah Winfrey once said, a mentor is somebody who allows to see the hope inside your heart. Even today, I seek out for mentors. But to be honest, in our organizations, the mentoring has become very process-oriented. It's just for the sake of your annual appraisals, that process has become. However, I have seen a contrast. It's when we prepare for a speech or a role in Toastmasters, I have seen people genuinely supporting us. I've seen them taking their time off from weekends, the Saturdays, Sundays, or after work hours, giving us valuable feedback. I was thinking, why should they do it? What is the driving factor? As again a famous quote says, if you want to lift yourself up, try lifting someone else up. Today, I thank all my mentors who helped me reach at this stage. My parents, my teachers, my family, and today my greatest mentor is my daughter, from whom I learned a lot of things. Over to you, Toastmaster Aiden.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sijo, for that wonderful speech. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first session for today's meeting. We definitely had some power speakers today. And speaking of power, what was it that returned that productivity addicted being to normalcy? They had to be some very powerful words. They indeed were. I learned that life is full of seasons. And what works for you in one season doesn't work in another. Productivity comes with an increase in anxiety. Productivity, now this one is deep. Productivity makes you look into the future for happiness. It makes you think that achievement of goals is what matters, but it's not. It's focusing on the process right now that matters. Because if you aren't happy right now, you probably won't be even happy when you achieve the goal. Productivity doesn't fix anything. Appreciation of now, it fixes. Now, you get more done by doing less. When you do less, you amplify the productive energy in your lives. Being productive is a drug, and being focused on the right goal and its attached process is the antidote. This helped me reach a very valuable insight. My work wasn't the problem. Myself and my mindset was the problem. I needed to slow down, trim down the workload, and unleash the old and learn the new. Now everyone, let's proceed to the second part of today's session. That's table topics, or impromptu speaking, or speaking without preparing. Now, this session is dedicated solely to the guests of today's meeting. We have an exciting second session lined up, and taking the role of Table Topics Master, I would now like to invite Toastmaster Nitin. He is from Maharashtra and he is currently working as a principal solution architect. He loves to go on long drives by himself. Over to you, Toastmaster Nitin.
Very good morning, everybody. So we have listened to some wonderful speeches from our fellow Toastmasters, great icebreakers, and some good speeches from our fellow Toastmasters. So now we are embarking on to the table topic session, which is impromptu speaking, right? When it comes to impromptu speaking, it requires thinking spontaneously on your feet, good communication skills, and your ability to organize the thoughts while you are delivering it spontaneously. It can be challenging and exhilarating both at the same time. Some of you may be already champion at it because you may have done it several times, and some of you may be still trying to improve on it, still trying to struggle, but not to worry, because as they say that the journey to the 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And my dear friends and guests, what you have done, you have already taken that first step by presenting yourself at this venue. So with not much ado, we will start this session. For the rules, I would say that we have a couple of topics that I am going to announce from the side of the stage, and everybody can participate here. And I would encourage the guests to please raise their hands, and I would call upon them. And I just wanted to say that it is nothing to worry about. You just have to be relaxed, calm, think about something that might have happened in your life, your experience. Think of something that happened to your friend. Think of a movie, think of a travel, think of a restaurant, think of a food. There are n number of things that has happened throughout your life that would definitely help you to organize your thoughts when you are delivering your speeches. So are you guys ready? Yes. All right. So how many of you have watched the movie Spider-Man? Most of them, right? And there is a very famous quote in that movie. Can somebody remind me? Yeah, spot on. So with great power comes great responsibility. Takers. Come on, guys. Yeah, please come. Hi. So, say your good name? Arindam. Arindam. Please welcome Arindam. And he is going to speak. With great power comes great responsibility. Please, Arindam. Yes.